Everybody, welcome back to my video blog series. I woke up today fired up, wanted to share so much with you. I spent 12 hours in Achievers Congress in Denver yesterday, and among many amazing speakers, I was lucky to spend about 3.5 hours listening to Tony Robbins. And he is a powerhouse. He is definitely a human potential amplifier. So I'm pretty far up. There are a lot of things that he just reassured that we have a choice every day to make whatever we want in our life. And you know, I always say happiness is a choice. And I love that there's research to prove my own, I guess, hypothesis, right? You can read books from Sean Anker about happiness. There's amazing information coming out right now that proves scientifically that indeed happiness is a choice. So I want to talk about the mantra, a little bit about the mantra of my business, which is happiness in motion, and define that even more, what that means. So you probably heard before somebody like Tony Robbins or other fitness experts or life coaches saying that emotion is created by motion. We hear that a lot in the exercise field, that we create emotions by moving our bodies. That's why exercise is so great for just to create better well-being, to fight depression and many other mood disorders. So we all know that exercise makes us feel good. So that's the proof that emotion is created by motion. So my message here today is, what do you do when you're stuck in that loop of worry, that you just cannot stop worrying? It's one of the major complaints I hear these days. It's an epidemic. Everybody worries all the time. And worry, it's fear. It's fear of loss, fear of not having something, fear of losing something. And by the way, a lot of those things, most of the time, are pure illusion. Worries create anxiety too, which is fear of the future, and a lot is illusion. And a lot of that is taking us from living in the now, in the present, because it's the now that we have the ability to direct our energy to focus into something that will serve us. So I put a little framework here on my board, right? So let's talk about self-management. So do you want to get out of that worry state that you are all the time? Okay, so I'm going to use a little tough love here. Stop thinking about you so much and get out of that worry state about stopping obsessing on your life all the time and start thinking, what are you going to do about? What are you going to do about all these worries? What are you going to do about all these matters and problems that you like stuck with when you're in that worry loop, right? So what if I tell that in 90 seconds, anytime that worry hits you harder, you have about 90 seconds to actually shift that thought and go into a better place, a place that's going to serve you, a place that's going to trigger creativity, productivity, and enhance your energy. You know, I'm all about energy. What can you do all day long to generate and expand your levels of energy? And worry is definitely not an energy generator. It's a drainer. So if you feel like you're going to the worry state, just right away, can you stop? And that's called mindfulness, right? Can you stop at that moment and just close your eyes and take some deep breaths and go into a state of appreciation, of gratitude, a state that's going to bring you to a state of beauty, a state of happiness. I guarantee when you do that, your worry force is going to decrease. And why that happens because you're choosing to focus on something else. You know well that anything you choose to focus on will grow. And that's kind of the gate to your flow as well. You can flow in your creativity, in your creation of anything. If you worry all the time, you're blocking yourself. And you have the power to change that. But you have to become very vigilant when those thoughts of worry and fear are coming to you. Take those 90 seconds and shift that thought. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have frustrations, that you're not going to feel pain when somebody hurts you. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the fact that you're going to touch those feelings or those emotions. You know, emotion is just like a strong feeling. It's a feeling. You're going to touch that emotion, knowledge, and you're not gonna stay there. You're gonna get out of there by creating a state of happiness, which is created by being grateful and appreciating what you have now. And I guarantee by practicing that, that becomes your spiritual practice. If you apply this every time you get fearful, you get worried, you get into a judgmental state, practice that and your brain starts to change. And that's what the power of the mind comes in. We hear so much these days about the power of our mind. The mind comes in. We hear so much these days about the power of our mind, how we can make change, how we can, create the life we want. And it's all true, because we do have the power to come out of that state of misery, a state of suffering, and go into a state of happiness. So I'm going to continue saying happiness, it's a choice. Daniel Goleman, who wrote Emotional Intelligence and wrote the book Focus, talks a lot about self-management and how we can just be in that state of flow more and more as we self-manage ourselves. So he says, executive attention holds the key to self-management. Executive attention. To me, that translates into focus, is a direct attention into something. If you give direct attention to your worries and fears, that's exactly what you're going to generate more. If you choose to give direct attention, or what I call also directed energy, to become wealthier, to become more successful, to become healthier, to be more grateful, to spend time with people you love, you direct your energy there, I guarantee you're gonna get out of that state of worry and fear so much. So start cutting those distractions, those things that are just keeping you in that worry loop, and focus, direct your energy into the things that serve you well. So this is kind of a continuation of what I started talking about last week, which was the silent stressors. So this is kind of a series of mindset or mindfulness videos, if you will. And I'm going to be every week teaching some new tools. Well, not new, they're out there, but some tools that will help you to get out of this stagnant state of worry and fear, and you start moving. Just set your body in motion. Another thing that really helps if you get stuck in that place of worry or fear and you get paralyzed. I've been there. Sometimes I'm like, I caught myself sitting behind my computer. I had so much to do, and I'll sit behind my computer and I'll just stare at the screen, paralyzed. And the only thing that can fix that state of paralysis, it's motion. And I used to say, just go and read a book about your dreams. Read a book about what you're working on. So if you're trying to make more money, read books about money. If you're trying to become a more positive person, read books about positive thinking. And I'm going to go even wider now. Do anything. Go walk your dog. Go stretch your body. Go take some deep breaths outside. Just set yourself in motion when you feel in those states of paralysis. I'm going to give you an example here that I just experienced right before I made this video. I have so much to do today. I have so much information I want to share with you that I found myself in a little state of paralysis for a few minutes before I made this video. So what did I do? I set up all my lights, my camera, clean up my chalkboard, and I set this stage and I start moving. I grab a piece of paper and I just kind of allow my ideas to flow. So doing that created this video blog, okay? If I had stayed in a state of paralysis, you wouldn't have this video right now. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is because you can do that, apply that towards anything. Again, walk your dog, wash the dishes, clean your house, just move. Movement would change your emotions, okay? So that's what I want to share with you today. Sorry if you might feel like this video is like, oh my God, Alex is all over the place. And you might feel that way. It's just because there's so much I want to share with you. But I hope you got the main message today. 90 seconds, and I didn't create this number. I heard this number from many different sources that takes about 90 seconds for us to shift the mind before we get deep into that feeling or those negative emotions that bring us down. Use that 90 seconds, shift your mind, go into appreciation, gratitude, practice every day, and I guarantee you're going to start taking more control of your happiness. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.